you do not need to be talented to make something look good. You need to know the rules, and I will give them to you in this video. Today we will discuss the 4 rules to make your designs look good or even better. Hello and welcome to another edition of Dare to Design. I am your host, the Master Jake, and I am on a mission to help designers and future designers chase their artistic passion, even in the world of AI, even in this world of uncertainty of not knowing where to get started. I am here to give you some tips and tricks. And guess what? Today, you do not need to be talented to make something look good. You need to know the rules, and I will give them to you in this video. Today we will discuss the 4 rules to make your designs look good or even better. But first, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and definitely ring that bell for more notifications. Have you ever been designing, or have you ever been thought about designing something and you're like, I don't know if that's gonna look good, and then you design it and you're like, that doesn't look how I quite wanted it to look. That's okay, because there are some rules to follow to make your designs go from good to great to phenomenal. And we're gonna talk about those 5 rules today. Really quick story. When I first started designing, I was everywhere. I was here, I was there with my designs. My designs were sporadic. I felt like I did not know what I was doing, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. I wanted to just like throw in the towel, but I knew I had to keep chasing it. So shout out to my father-in-law. He is a coder and programmer. He actually helped me remember, or I guess relearn, that design is better when it's simplified. A lot of things that we design get too complicated, and that messes with the eye. That messes with the communication that we're trying to give and trying to provide. After working with him for 2 years, he helped me make sure that my designs were simplified and make sure that they were more easy to be communicated to future clients, future customers, and now the world can understand my designs even better. I'm going to share with you my 4 tips to make you guys have your designs go through the roof. Number 1, alignments. Just really quick, take a look at this schemes and breakdown I have for this company. So the name of the company is called Win Forever, right? Here, I'll put the full logo up on the screen so you guys can see it. So the full logo is this right here. So this is the full logo of the brand, Win Forever. I'll put it big really quick. That is the full logo. So I actually did a schemes and breakdown for the client. I call it the schemes and breakdown. You guys can call it whatever you like, but I definitely encourage you guys to have this for your clients. Here's why. Because we do not want anything to be placed randomly. So alignment is making sure nothing should be placed randomly. So we have the W right here. So the W is for win, obviously. The F is forever. And before we get into the right side of the screen, I want to talk about this portion a little bit right here. So this gives the clarity, and it's fun to look at. When you combine letters, I highly challenge you guys and think about when you guys are doing something artistic, if you're designing for an artistic brand, or if you want something to have an artistic feel, look at combining, not just combining letters, but also combining symbols and letters as well, because it gives that artistic, because it's fun to look at. You say, oh, that was cool. And that automatically thinks like, oh, wait, is this like something like creative? Is this something? It gets the people's brains wiring.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
It gets the future client's eyes. Oh, like, okay, it makes them start to think. That is good. As long as it's clear and precise, that is good. So this is what we did. We combined the W and the F because it is a photography. Photography is an art form too as well. So moving over here to this side of the screen with the F. So this entire thing is the camera set. So this object right here is the object in front of the camera. And right here is the camera. So that's the whole camera set. So we decided to make that little dot right there in front of the camera. So it's like a camera taking a picture of an object. So that was like something a little clever. So the dot's not there just to look cool, even though it just looks cool being there. It's not there just to look cool. It actually has a meaning. That's the cool thing. So the font selection that we chose in this was designed specifically intentionally, which is a whole nother video. We can talk about font for 45 minutes if we wanted to. But the font here is chosen to represent like a prestige feel, to be the brand, to be the best. And so I kind of chose kind of a standard font, but it's more of a sporty font, right? Because what do you do in sports? You win, right? If you're good, you win. So number 2, contrast. So here, take a look at this logo we designed for a construction company. So what is the very first thing that pops out to you on this page? What is the very first thing? Deserve it, right? Because it's the thing that's drawing attention. It's the yellow, it's the neon, it's the bright. It is that color that is popping at you and it's pulling at you. And the reason we decided to make that, because And guys, this goes back to like knowing what you're designing for and knowing the brand story that you're designing for. So we always have to remember that you align your brand story with your like design. So pretty much whatever you're designing has to come from the brand story. And this particular brand is very important because they don't want to be the spotlight in front of their customers. They want their customers to be the star. So we build it, we fix it, you deserve it. And that's the important part. They want their customers to know that they deserve their service. So intentionally, I grayed out the background right here. So if this was a different philosophy and a different brand story or different company mission, maybe the construction worker or the roof builder, I don't know the technical term, but would actually be the star. He would be the one that's, all smiley and bright, but they don't want that. So guys, that's so important, knowing who you're designing for, knowing what you're designing for, because you can know what needs to pop or not. So we build it, we fix it, you deserve it. So that's just an example of something of how to make the important thing pop. Number 3, repetition is gonna build consistency. So guys, when I first started designing, I thought like my first logo was awful. And I thought, oh my goodness, I should probably stop doing this. I am not good at this. But as I began to design more and more and more, I learned that, oh wow, my designs are actually getting better. My designs are actually getting clearer. My designs are actually progressing. So that's what it is. It's kind of like that old adage, oh, you keep doing something and you're gonna get great at it. Well, that's exactly what it is with designing too. If you keep practicing and follow these rules and follow some other tricks that you learn to implement yourself, you're going to get better. For example, you don't just go to the gym one day and then you come out all swole. It's the same way with designing. You don't just design one logo and then you're this master logo designer. You guys have to keep going and going and going and going. Guess what? As a designer, as designers, I'm going to design, I'm going to create, I'm going to create. Guess what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna create. Guess what I'm gonna do the day after that? I'm going to create. Guess what I'm gonna do 1 week from now? I'm going to create. So I highly encourage that whenever you are designing, keep the flow fresh, keep that creativity fresh. I find that whenever I take a break from designing, which is very rare, but if I'm on vacation or I just need need some mental headspace and just need a second to break, I find that my designing does slip just a little bit. So I highly encourage when you're first starting out, do it maybe 3 or 4 times a week, maybe even 5. Do it 7 days a week if you can, maybe 6. Give yourself a break from the screens, but maybe do it like 5 or 6 times a week to help that repetition flow and to get even better, because you want to build that skill, build that creative flow on top of each other, because that creativeness stacks and stacks. Rule number 4, proximity. We're going to make sure we're placing alike things together. Here is what we mean. So look at this logo on the screen that we did for a client. A lot of BS is the name of the brand. But guys, this is very interesting because this particular client wanted a lot of elements to this logo, correct? They wanted the mic, they wanted the coffee, they wanted the logo, or they wanted the font, and then the circles to incorporate all that. Now, anytime you're dealing with a circle font or a round font that has like the circle border, it can get very, very tricky depending on what you're trying to implement, because if it doesn't align together, it will just look junky. So what we did is we had to be creative on where we were going to put, and the client did have a specific kind of outline they wanted us to put these particular objects in order of, but you have to be very, very careful. If this coffee mug, for example, was actually down here and the mic was up here, the logo would be 2 stacked. We talked about this in the previous video. Remember having those logos stacked? The logo, or the logo would actually be 2 stacked. It would just be weird to read and just kind of long to read. Or let's say you put the mic over here and the coffee stand on the other side of the circle. It's a little long. So having a circular logo, you want to kind of make sure that circle can kind of flow and it can still be a circular logo. So we found a way to kind of have the mug, so we designed the coffee mug kind of over the mic a little bit to kind of like it's right next to it, right? We could have even done like an overflow effect where the coffee was like spilling over. That would have been even cool. So this is something I really took my time on, and it took about a good week to actually figure out the flow. That was the hardest part about this logo, is figuring out where I wanted everything. Once I figured out that, everything else kind of flowed pretty smooth. So that's just an example of alignment and keeping things together. Rule number 5, and the fun rule: white space is not wasted space. And sometimes happy accidents do happen. Let me show you what I mean. Anyone remember this FedEx logo from back in the day? Well, back in the day, it's still the FedEx logo. Don't know why I said that. But this FedEx logo, when you just look at it, it looks like a standard font, standard blank logo. I don't want to say blank, but standard logo. But on further examination, in between the E and the X, there's an arrow. FedEx, keep moving forward. Again, guys, sometimes happy accidents happen. Sometimes happy accidents happen. I'm not saying that the FedEx logo was an accident and that they didn't mean to put that arrow there, but hey, I've been designing sometimes and sometimes we accidentally end up creating a double meaning and they were like, boom, that connects, that works, that flows, let's do it. Understand that it's all going to come and it's all a part of a process. There you have it. There are the 4 tips and 1 5 bonus tip for how to make your logos go from good to great to even better. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take repetition, it's gonna take a little bit of grit. You know, you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing through the cringy logos and the bad logos and the ones that just make you say, ugh. So you have to keep going. I'm building a course on all of these tips and all these tricks and even more to go really, really in depth of how to get started with designing and show you guys what I've learned through my 11 years of designing. If you guys are interested in registering for the future course, it's not built yet, but if you guys are interested in registering to get early access once the finished course is completed, definitely click the link and fill out your email below. 5 rules: alignment, making sure everything goes in its right place; contrast, making sure that important thing pops; proximity, making sure things aren't too close together; don't forget the repetition; and white space is not wasted space. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like, press the subscribe, and definitely hit that bell for more notifications. And most importantly, don't forget to dare to design. I'm out.
It's the Master Jake!